So, Ted Lasso, episode 2 of season 3. Another very solid episode. No complaints. I would what's his name? I always forget his name. Nick,
Oh, no,
Ned?
Nate,
No
right?
Nate.
That's
No
right,
Nate in
that's
this
right.
episode.
Mhm.
Which I
I was
was not.
surprised.
It was nice. I didn't really. I want to see more of Nate, obviously, even though I hate his guts. But I do want to see more of him. They introduce a very interesting character named, I forget his name, but he's based off a real player. And it's obvious that he's based off a real player
Was
because
this
he's
like Zara
Czar, yeah, something
or
like that. And he's very self-indulgent, very all about himself, and the whole kind
is he
of
based on Neymar?
no, he's based off
Oh,
Zlatan.
I got
And the
nothing.
whole kind of gist of the episode is like he's really good, but he's causes problems everywhere he goes, but he's really good. So
Mhm.
Wrexham is like, oh, we want him even though he causes problems, and just because since they got promoted, they need to
Mhm.
contend with all the other big clubs they're already in the Premier League, and West Ham obviously is also going after him. So it's
Yeah.
about who can get him, and then there's another kind of side story with Trent Krim and Roy Kent and that whole kind of dynamic as well, which was
Interesting. Two of
it
my
was
favorite
nice.
characters too.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad we're getting more of Trent Krim. I think he's a good character to kind of
Mhm.
stir the pot, and then it also brings a little bit more out of Roy. Oh,
Mhm.
there's also this other side plot with like Keely and her kind of I don't think that was episode 1. Keely and like her like CFO, like the one that like
Oh,
kind of just like came out of
started
nowhere.
yeah, it started in episode
Yeah,
1 where
yeah,
she's like, "Why are
yeah.
you spending on flowers?" Yeah.
Right. Now she's like Keely is like hired her best friend to come and as like in a role of some sort in her company, but
Oh.
she's not qualified whatsoever. So the CFO
Mhm.
is like, what's her job? And it's kind of this whole thing. It's a really nice episode. The show just continues to, live up to the expectations that I'm assuming everybody has had for it. It's gonna be really sad when it ends. But I'm kind of hoping for maybe a Ted centered episode in the next 1 or 2 episodes. I feel like
Yeah, I feel
especially
like
this past episode, he definitely took a back seat, in my opinion.
okay, interesting. Um, I feel like yeah, just by what you described, I feel like going after a player, I would assume that would be more of a Rupert and Rebecca
Yeah,
centric
it's kind of yeah.
story.
Hmm.
Which I'm totally fine with because, like you said, I mean the bench, sports reference, the bench is so deep of just great characters in that
Right.
world. It's like you could spend a whole episode with Trent and Roy, and have that be an actual good thing. Somebody too, I think, I don't know if how he is in the second episode, but somebody too with Ted that I hope gets a little brighter spot on him is Jamie. I feel like he hasn't
Hmm.
didn't have much to
Yep.
do in the premiere. He did have a good, two good moments of a little one liner and stuff. But I just really hope that, like you said, before this show goes out, I just hope that we get kind of some nice meaty time to spend with all of these characters. Because I feel like too somebody like Ted probably haven't gotten a lot with him in the first, well, maybe not in the first episode, but like you said, something that is just completely Ted Lasso focused, because that's really what the show is great at. But yeah, anything else on the Lasso talk?
No, I'm just waiting for when they finally face West Ham, when
Yeah.
that comes and what goes on.
Now know more about like the structure of like that type of season and stuff, but like
Yeah.
is there enough games that like would they play them like more than once or just
Yeah.
once?
No, they
Okay,
played
all
them
right.
more than once.
Okay. Yeah, then in that case, because I was gonna say maybe they're saving it for the finale, but then I thought to myself, I was like, that feels way too far away to
Yeah.
save from actually playing them.
I
Um,
mean, I'm assuming
but
this
yeah.
is like the first. I believe this was probably the first game of the season. So I don't
Mhm.
know. They're definitely, because I think the regular seasons are like they gotta be like 40 games somewhere in there. I don't know
Oh
off the top of
wow.
my head. So they're obviously gonna skip to whenever and just skip around. But
Mhm.
I'll be interested to see if they do any. I don't know if they did it in previous seasons. If they do any kind of like tournaments or anything, because that's like a big part of There's usually
Oh,
like
okay.
there's a I can't even think of the word now. There's like in the Premier League, there's like the FA Cup, there's the Carabao Cup, and then you obviously want to qualify for the Champions League, which is like a European tournament, which is all
Mhm.
European teams.
Yeah.
But I doubt we'll get that far into it.
Could we see Coach Lasso take home the World Cup this season?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Um, well, stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for
Yeah.
more Ted Lasso reviews. But yeah, let us know, what are you guys thinking of Ted Lasso season 3 so far. Lots to do. I promise we will both be caught up for next week. But yeah, so let us know what you thought of Ted Lasso in the comments down below.